There has to be moves at some point. I know they were discussed at one stage at a political level of making the banks take into consideration the rent payments
Mm.
because they don't. And it's like, well, yeah, I could afford a 700 a week mortgage if I wasn't paying 1,000 a week rent type
Yeah,
thing.
when she went to a bank recently, they actually talked to her about the rent payment and that they
Okay.
did consider that.
Oh, good. So it's already
Yeah, I
seen as
can't
a change.
remember the ins and outs of what she said,
Mm.
but there was something about the rent that they would consider.
Oh,
The
good.
other thing I saw recently, a comment on something to do with the superannuation, and I thought
Oh,
that's it, really. People should be able to access their superannuation
I
for mortgages and stuff.
understand that.
Mm.
Yeah, I've heard someone else say that you could access, say, 50 grand of your superannuation to go into a house, and that sort of thing. My concern is, I think this is a precursor to saying if you've got a house, then that is your superannuation, and you have to use your house equity to live because we're not going to pay you a pension until you don't have a house. So I've got alarm bells going off for me about that. Um, yeah, that's a bit of a concern because I think it's just a sneaky way into eventually meaning that we won't own homes when we are older.
Yeah, well, when you're right, because when I looked into this is a few years ago, so I haven't looked at anything recently. That was just a comment I
Yeah,
heard somewhere, a political commentator
yeah.
talking about that recently. But when I looked into it a few years ago, because I remember there was a big push for, oh, you could, I can't remember exactly what it was
Reverse
now.
mortgages.
No, it was to do with the super and a deposit, some sort of scheme for young people. But
Yeah,
when I looked into it, it meant that the government owned part of your house.
yeah. Mm. And that's my concern about this is that it's just another sort of sideways step to yeah, draw people into a different system because realistically, where's the money coming from for all the pensions? I mean, baby boomers will eventually die out, so it won't be such a burden, but yeah, I'm not very trusting of government, so sometimes when they offer something that looks nice, I go, okay, why? What's in this for them? And yeah.